All right, so picking up right where we left off, here we have our lobster bodies that we're gonna roast today. Lobster doesn't really keep well, so we wanna process all of this today. The claw, knuckle, and tail meat will get into the freezer in cryovac bags, and the lobster bodies will roast and we'll make stock tomorrow. So that way everything will be in the best possible quality. Thank you. The claws are pretty straightforward. Again, I always like to have a designated towel for this, just so you don't tear up your fingers. It depends on the time of year as to whether or not you really need it. Certain times of the year, you can crack these without much effort at all. Other times they're as hard as bricks. It just depends on the life cycle of the lobster. So I like to break everything by the segment, pretty self-explanatory. You break it here at the claw, then at the knuckle, leg, and then this other little knuckle that connects to the body. What I was trying to show you guys out on site is if you make one hit right here, you should be able to pull that thumb. That did go through. The thumb is the hardest part to get off in one piece, just because of the connective tissue that runs through it. Usually if you'll hit it right up by this joint, that's going to be your best bet of getting it all to come off intact. And then to do that, what you're doing is you're first putting your fingers in here so you can feel this hard piece, and then you're trying to pull with gentle pressure from the top and the bottom to get it all out at once. This one's being really stubborn here on the bottom. Not sure it's going to cooperate, but it did. So there's what it looks like as one piece. It's really nice to get it off like that just because it presents so well on the plate. I'll go through with the chopstick. It's kind of my choice tool for this. A lot of times, just the back side of your hand works pretty nice too. But any place you can't just crack, I found that you can put a chopstick through pretty easily. And as much as possible, like any other piece of the lobster, you want to get it out intact rather than in pieces whenever you can. Just because if someone's paying $60 for a whole lobster, you want to have some big morsels rather than have it all be shredded. So pretty straightforward there. With the little legs here, again, you just go in with a chopstick and you can get every last little piece of the lobster out. Much easier with the tails. Just like your humane keel, you go down through the body and break it one way. And I typically make it a 2-cut process to avoid splintering of the shell. If you do one, you're going to be much more prone to splinter the shell right here, which again, depending on what you're going to do with it, may or may not be something that looks good on a plate. Pull out the poop vein, and then you grill it. If it's a female lobster that's holding roe, you can collect all that right here and turn it into an oil. It'll turn bright orange on the plate. It makes for a nice oil for a garnish. Brooks did a real nice job grilling these today. Basically what he did is he lubed one side, seasoned it pretty heavily, grilled, and then turned it over and grilled the shell just for carryover cooking. If the shell's hot, you can allow for a little translucent look here and stop cooking it before you turn it into leather. The worst thing you can do is overcook these. Today, since we're just going to separate and freeze, we will go ahead and take it completely out of the shell. Normally I would cook it in the shell just for extra flavor. You could also do like a butter poach, but since we did cook these in a court bouillon, it already has a flavorful liquid on it. What did you do earlier? Salt, pepper, and that was it? And they tasted great, so that's all I've got. We'll probably go ahead and finish processing these. If anyone wants more practice, you're welcome to. Otherwise, you guys all did great today. Thank you very much for the extra effort and doing a catered event. But really nice job, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.